The market in 2026 is setting up to be wild, not because of the big tech names you see on TV, but because of tiny, ignored stocks that trade for just a few cents. Most investors will never touch them. They're volatile, risky, and easy to dismiss. But a few of these names sit at the crossroads of real technology, real science, and real products. In this video, we'll walk through 4 ultra-cheap Nasdaq stocks under 0.09. We'll look at what they do, why the market hates them right now, and what has to go right for them to work. No hype, no lotto ticket talk, just a clear look at the risk and the potential reward so you can decide if they deserve a spot on your watch list. If you're serious about building wealth over time, hit subscribe and tap like. We're building a small community of people who look past headlines, read the numbers, and think like business owners, not gamblers. Let's get into the first stock, ZSpace Technologies, ticker ZSPC. On the surface, it's a tiny augmented reality and virtual reality company. Price is around 7 cents a share. Market cap is about $2.85 million. That's smaller than many local businesses. But the story is interesting. ZSpace builds AR and VR hardware and learning software for schools. They target K-12 science, technology, engineering, math, game design, and career training. Think of a classroom where students work with virtual 3D models instead of flat pictures. They also sell workforce-focused training tools for technical education. Here's the shift. You might think small VR gadget company, but they're trying to be a full education platform. Hardware plus software. If they can become the go-to AR solution for schools, that's a very sticky business. Schools do not like to switch systems often. We don't have detailed revenue and earnings numbers here, but we can still think like owners. Their growth potential lies in 2 main areas: more school districts adopting AR, VR, and deeper software use per school. If they grow installations and then sell more software modules over time, margins could improve. Software usually has better margins than hardware. Operationally, the key questions are simple. Can they sell enough volume to spread fixed costs? Can they price their products so gross margins stay healthy? Hardware is capital intensive. You need cash for design, production, and support. ZSpace's tiny market cap tells us the market doesn't believe they have strong scale or strong profits yet. On valuation, 7 cents per share with a consensus price target of $4 signals a huge gap. That's more than 5,000% upside on paper. But analyst targets can lag reality and may be based on old capital structures or reverse splits. Always check the date and number of shares before trusting any target. So what could move this stock? Catalysts might include new contracts with large school districts, government funding for digital learning, or partnerships with bigger education companies or device makers. Also, any sign of growing recurring software revenue would be powerful. But remember the risk. A micro-cap hardware company can run out of cash, dilute shareholders, or delist. For now, ZSpace looks like a speculative bet on AR/VR in classrooms. It belongs, at best, in the tiny position, high-risk bucket for experienced investors who can handle big swings. Next up, stock number 2, CERo Therapeutics, ticker CERO. This one is even smaller. It trades at about 3 cents per share with a market cap near $645,000. CERo is an immunotherapy company. Their focus is engineered T-cell therapies to treat cancer. Their lead program targets an eat me signal found on certain blood cancers like B-cell and myeloid tumors. In plain English, they're trying to retrain the immune system to better recognize and attack cancer cells. You might see penny biotech and think of a dead stock. But the science side is real. Immunotherapy has changed cancer care over the last decade. Many big pharma companies pay large sums for promising T-cell platforms. CERo is tiny, but it's fishing in a huge pond. The issue is not the idea, it's the execution, funding, and odds of success. Drug development is expensive and slow. Most candidates fail. A company with this small a market cap is often fighting just to stay alive. We don't have revenue because early-stage biotechs usually don't have products on the market. There's no EPS or free cash flow story here. It's all about pipeline, clinical data, and partnerships. Operational efficiency means how smart are they with trial design and can they stretch every dollar? If they burn cash too fast, they'll need dilutive financings or risk bankruptcy. The valuation picture is extreme, 3 cents per share with a consensus rating of reduce and a price target of $45. That target implies potential upside of more than 145,000%. Again, that kind of gap is often a sign of outdated models from before a collapse, reverse split, or dilution. Treat it as a flag to dig deeper, not a promise of riches. The real question for you is, do you understand the development path and can you track the data readouts? What could be a catalyst? Positive early stage clinical results, a collaboration with a larger pharma, or receiving regulatory green lights to move to the next trial phase. Also, any news that extends their cash runway matters, but this is pure speculation. If their lead program stalls, the stock can go lower or even to zero. If they hit a big milestone, it can spike hard. Only use money you can lose and make sure you're comfortable following biotech risk. Our third stock is CIMG Inc., ticker CIMG, formerly Newsy. This one trades around 4 cents, with a market cap of about $401,000. It's a digital marketing, sales, and distribution company for consumer products, mainly food and beverages. They're based in Beijing. At first glance, it's just another micro-cap consumer play. But look closer. They're trying to live in the space between brands and customers. They help move products through online and offline channels using digital tools. Here's the narrative shift. You might think it's a tiny beverage company, but they're trying to be a platform for selling many consumer products. If they can build a strong distribution network, they can add new brands on top. That model can scale without massive manufacturing investment. Growth here would come from two areas: more brands using their sales engine and higher volume per brand. If they can do that with lean operations, they might improve margins over time. The trading action tells us a lot. The average volume is about 1.15 million shares, but recent volume was only around 31,000 shares. The 50-day range runs from 3 cents to 77 cents. That's huge volatility. It suggests big swings, possible past reverse splits, or heavy selling. The consensus rating is sell. That means analysts, those who still cover it, do not like the risk reward at current prices. On valuation, without clear revenue and earnings, it's hard to anchor this. Sub-million-dollar market caps often mean the market expects either more dilution, delisting, or business decline. Your job is to ask, do they have a clear niche? Are they winning any known contracts or brand partners? Are they growing any segment at all? Catalyst could include signing known consumer brands, releasing strong sales growth for a quarter, or showing a path to profit. But again, this is not a safe compounder. This is a turnaround or survival story. Treat it as a lottery ticket style position if you touch it. Keep size tiny. Be ready for the possibility of losing most or all of your stake if the business cannot scale or fund itself. Now let's move to our last stock, Iterum Therapeutics, ticker ITRM. The stock trades around 3 cents. Market cap is about $1.6 million. Iterum is a clinical stage pharma company that develops anti-infective drugs. Their lead asset is sulopenem, an antibiotic with both oral and IV forms. It's in phase 3 trials for several uses: uncomplicated urinary tract infections, complicated urinary tract infections, and complicated intra-abdominal infections. The company is based in Dublin and operates across Ireland, Bermuda, and the US. You might think, tiny failed biotech, but the story is more nuanced. Iterum is not chasing a niche vanity drug. UTIs and serious infections are common medical problems. Resistance to older antibiotics is rising. Health systems need new options. If sulopenem proves safe and effective and wins approval, it could serve large patient groups. That's the owner mindset. Focus on what problem they solve and how big that market is. We know they are still clinical stage, so revenue is likely minimal or zero from this drug. Cash flow is negative. They spend heavily on trials, regulatory work, and overhead. Their average volume is very high, around 47.75 million shares. That means a lot of traders are moving in and out. The consensus rating is reduce, and the price target is $9 per share. From 3 cents to $9 is almost 30,000% upside on paper. But again, these targets can come from times when the share count was smaller or the price was higher. Operationally, Iterum's key challenge is funding phase 3 and the approval process without wiping out shareholders. Clinical trials cost a lot. If they have to raise cash at these low prices, dilution can be brutal. On the other hand, if they show strong phase 3 data, they may be able to partner with a bigger pharma or secure better terms. Catalysts are clear here. First, trial readouts. Any positive phase 3 data for sulopenem in UTIs or abdominal infections would be a big deal. Second, interactions with the FDA or European regulators. Meeting endpoints and moving toward approval could re-rate the stock. Third, any licensing deal, development agreement, or buyout interest from a larger drug company. Unlike some microcaps, this is tied to a clear, defined scientific milestone path. But the risk is still huge. If sulopenem fails in trials, faces safety issues, or gets a negative regulatory decision, the stock could be crushed. Even if the drug works, they still must handle commercialization, pricing, and insurance coverage. For most people, this is not a core holding. It's a speculative biotech swing that you should size very small and track closely. So how do these four names fit together? ZSpace is a micro-cap AR/VR education platform betting on schools and digital learning. CERo Therapeutics is a tiny immunotherapy play in cancer T-cell science. CIMG is a consumer products distribution and marketing micro-cap with big volatility. Iterum is a high-risk anti-infective biotech with a late-stage asset. All trade for just a few cents. All have tiny market caps. All carry real chances of permanent loss. The way to use these kinds of stocks is simple. First, decide if speculation even fits your plan. You do not need penny stocks to build wealth. Second, if you choose to play, keep position sizes tiny. Think 1% or less of your total portfolio per idea, often much less. Third, focus most of your money on stronger, proven businesses and diversified funds. Let the long term work for you. The market is a voting machine in the short term, but a weighing machine in the long term. Quality and survival matter more than quick spikes. If you found this breakdown helpful, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who's tempted to chase every cheap stock they see. Invest with intention, understand what you own, and stay patient. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.